Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the Caddy Cash Show, this time for NFL Week 7. And last week, Jeff Cadillac split it 2-2-1 against the spread. Overall on the year, 16-13-1 against the spread. That's 30 games. That's a big sample size. That's a pretty solid win percentage. Jeff Cadillac, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me, Peter, as always.
All right, Jeff Cadillac, you ready to step it up? You feel confident this week?
I'm ready. I'm always feeling confident. I feel good about my picks this week. Definitely did some extra research on the games that I'm picking this week. And hey, look, for all an extra analysis on all these games, you always got to go to Jeff Cadilllac 1. I'm sorry. You see, I even screwed up my own website.
Yeah,
JeffCadillac.com and at Twitter at JeffCadillac1 for my best bet on Friday for each week.
Wow, so you did extra research this week, and so for our videos, you're just going to be doing extra analysis, but if people want extra analysis, that's when they go to JeffCadillac.com to find extra analysis on all the NFL games for NFL Week 7, right?
You got it, Peter.
All right, Jeff Cadillac, I got all the currently widely available lines right here. What's your first game this week?
Okay, my first game of the week Week 7 is Carolina at Green Bay.
All right, Carolina at Green Bay. That number is -7 across the board. What do you like here, Jeff?
I like Carolina +7 on the road at Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm surprised there. You probably thought I was going to go Green Bay.
No, if I thought you were going to go Green Bay, I would have said I thought you were going to go Green Bay.
Well, I'm going Carolina.
Okay.
Cam Newton has definitely shown that because he is a little bit lacking in the running back situation in Carolina, he's picked up the slack himself. He ran for over 100 yards last week. As we all know, Green Bay is pretty weak against the run, and having Cam as a dual threat, I think it's going to keep Green Bay on their toes. I think Green Bay does win the game here, but I think it's going to be very close. I like Carolina +7. I think it's a good bet.
All right, Jeff Cadillac. That extra research might be paying off. Interesting pick there. Carolina +7. What's your second game this week?
Okay, my second pick this week is the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, boy. Here we go. All right, well, currently the line, it was 5.5 early on. You know, I know you like Dallas here. You're not going to get 5.5. Currently the line, widely available, is -6.5. So that's the line you have to take, Jeff Cadillac, okay?
Well, you couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself because you know me. I do like Dallas in this game. I had Dallas last week at Seattle +8.5. Now, my feeling on that game is that I thought Seattle would pull out a win, but I didn't think they'd cover that big spread. So I did like Dallas. They surprised a lot of people, but they played a great game. Seattle, on the other hand, hey, you know, you're talking here, they're not I keep telling everybody, it's not the same defense that was last year. It's been picked apart. Richard Sherman is basically out there on his own with a bunch of guys that nobody ever even heard of. So, go this week. You're talking the New York Giants last week. They made Philadelphia Eagles look like gangbusters, okay? Victor Cruz, he's out for the year. It's a very bad injury, but I can tell you right now, that team was terrible. Look who they've beaten this year. They've beaten Houston, Washington, and Atlanta. I mean, Houston, okay, they're coming back a little bit, but Atlanta and Washington are just terrible. And they've lost to Philadelphia, Detroit, and Arizona. You got apples and oranges right there and then. And let me tell you something. Right now, Dallas is going to be pumped for this game. The offense is playing very well. DeMarco Murray is playing very well. He's healthy for the first time in a long time. And he's playing very well. Romo's not making those mistakes. If he can't, he's not trying to force anything. He'll throw it away. He's playing smart. I like what Dallas is doing here. This game has blowout written all over it. The Giants are going to be like, after this game, they're going to wonder because they haven't beaten anybody of quality. And Dallas, beating them by a touchdown, I don't think it's too much to ask for right here come Sunday.
All right, well, Jeff Cadillac, what can I tell you? You know, I previewed this game with a lot of handicappers so far this week. Everyone likes Dallas. So if Tony Romo chokes, you're not going to be the only one taking a loss on this one. Everyone's going to go down with this one. You might all be right, though. We'll see. We'll see how this game turns out. We'll see where this line moves. And if there is any sharp action, according to Brent from BetDSI, when I do my call with him on Friday. All right, what's your third game for us, Jeff Cadillac?
My third game might be a surprise to you. It's Cleveland at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, This is an interesting one. It opened at 4, now it's 5.5 is the current line market wide. And I'm personally, you picked Jacksonville actually last week, didn't you? And you got a win with that one. And I'll tell you what, I'm thinking until I hear something else that puts me off it, I'm thinking Jacksonville plus 5.5 might be one of the better bets this week. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I have to go against you on this one.
My God.
Because
Okay.
there will be, I can tell you right now, there's a little bit of a revenge factor in this game. Last year, Jacksonville went into Cleveland and they beat them by 5 in their own home, in their home stadium. This year, Cleveland goes to Jacksonville. Now, I love Jacksonville last week against Tennessee because they do have believe it or not, Jacksonville has a winning record, ATS, against Tennessee. It's one of the few teams that they have any type of winning record against. But in this game here, Cleveland is not the same old crappy Cleveland team that everybody's been, hammering on for years. I mean, last week I loved them at home against Pittsburgh. This team is playing smart. Hoyer is showing that he's got, look, they would love to have Manziel playing over there because everybody wants to see what Johnny Football's doing. But Hoyer is holding his own. He's not making the mistakes as other former Cleveland quarterbacks have made in the past. He's the offense is playing a nice game. He's making the right decisions, and Cleveland is really taking charge. He's got that whole team pumped and ready to go, and that's why I definitely like Cleveland to win this game outright. Lay the 5.5 at Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Bortles is getting better every week. If you watch his games, he's making better decisions every week. I like what this guy is going to be turning into. I mean, right now, he needs a few more pieces around there, especially a defense that, can get off the field every once in a while. When you have the 30th and above, and below ranked defense, I mean, there's not too many games you're going to be winning in this league. And what he needs is some guys on defense so that he can get his chance to be relaxed and not always play from behind. But in this game, Cleveland, I got to tell you, I like them. Lay the points on the road. I think Cleveland beats them soundly.
Well, Jeff, I got to tell you, give you credit. Last week, you were the only one I spoke to who liked Cleveland over Pitt. You were totally right. Everyone else was completely wrong. And you also showed last week that you're not afraid to take Jacksonville as an underdog if you think there's value there. So you might be dead on here. Cleveland minus 5.5. We'll see. All right, what's your next game, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, number 4. We got Atlanta at Baltimore.
All right, Atlanta-Baltimore. This one, again, minus 7 across the board. What do you like here, Jeff?
Well, I have to tell you something. I made a big mistake last week of thinking that Atlanta could go back home and actually win a game.
Yes.
And that, to me, I was looking at that. Then I talked to a few people afterwards, and they were like, what are you kidding and everything? But once I make a play, I stick with it.
Yep.
Because that's the way it goes. You can't be wishy-washy in this business. But I'll tell you right now, I love Baltimore. Okay. Baltimore is on all cylinders. You have a team, okay, last week they blew out Tampa Bay. Okay, Tampa Bay is not exactly going anywhere this year or maybe even next year the way they're playing. But Atlanta is terrible. Their defense, they couldn't stop a Pop Warner team. Matty Ice, he's basically looking at the game from his back because the offensive line, again, is terrible. You got no running game. You got a defense that stands around. And it's just terrible. I like Baltimore at home in this game. Atlanta is terrible on the road. Mm-hmm. They're 0-3 on the road. This is a season they thought they were going to get everybody back, but maybe just the talent isn't there. They had me fooled. First game of the season they were playing New Orleans. I liked them there. They played New Orleans stuff, but after that, the team basically hasn't shown up. So I got to tell you, I like Baltimore at home. Lay the 7. This has blowout written all over it.
Jeff Cadillac, like in Baltimore, minus 7. All right, what's your 5th game for us this week, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, Peter, this one may come as a big surprise to you. Seattle at St. Louis.
Okay, I looked at this line right before the call, and it's creeping up. It's basically 7. It was 6.5 like an hour or two ago, and there's still like a few 6.5s out there at some fringe books. It's basically 7, but I guess we can give you 6.5 because I know you're going to like Seattle here. We'll give you 6.5. Fine.
Well, I hate to disagree with you on this one.
Wow.
But I want St. Louis.
Oh my God.
Plus the 7.
Oh my God.
On this one. I want St. Louis plus 7. Will you give me St. Louis plus 7?
Yeah, of course. That's basically the market-wide number right now. You're taking the Rams plus 7. All right, tell us why, Jeff Cadillac from JeffCadillac.com.
Okay, I can't wait to tell you. First of all, last Monday night, St. Louis played San Francisco. I loved San Francisco in that game because San Francisco basically owns the Rams. If you look at the rivalry there was only 1 year where they played them competitively. All the other years, as in recent last 5 years, 6 years, San Francisco owns the Rams. But when it comes to Seattle, it's a different story. They always play them close in the dome, and the spread is always like a 6-7 or something like that. And St. Louis is always in it at the end of the game. But let me tell you something. St. Louis got some problems. They have had 1 sack through 6 games. I can't believe that. It's it's unbelievable. Robert Quinn, no sacks. He had 19.5 sacks last year. He's got no sacks. Jeff Fisher must be tearing up the practice rooms and the weight rooms. He's going in there going, guys, look, if you don't want to play, that's fine, because there's plenty of guys that want to play. I'm impressed with Austin Davis, the quarterback, but he's got to get 2 halves together. First half against San Francisco, he's looking like gangbusters. But I wasn't worried because San Francisco made their adjustments. They said, okay, we're going to take on St. Louis in the second half. We got an undrafted rookie they're playing against. But these guys got to step up. You got a lot of playmakers on St. Louis, and I think it's not going to be back-to-back losses. Not only that, Seattle, like I said before, this isn't the same defense you had last year. You got a lot of guys that are gone. And then Maxwell also, he got injured in the last game against Dallas. He might be out for indefinitely. Russell Wilson still is a very good quarterback, don't get me wrong. But when you got a lot of pressure and your offense is stagnated and you can't go anywhere and do anything, it becomes a pressure situation for Russell Wilson. Now, I'm not saying he's going to make mistakes. I'm just saying that the Rams in this game are going to put a lot of pressure on him, and I think St. Louis is going to keep it close. Seattle, I believe, will win this game, but I think it's going to come down to about a three-point difference in the game. That's why I like St. Louis plus 7 at home.
Wow, Jeff Cadillac, what a pick. Awesome show. And for more information, go to JeffCadillac.com, and for Jeff's best bet, Twitter, Jeff Cadillac 1. Jeff Cadillac, great show. NFL Week 7. Talk to you again next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.